Hey, paper cut. What's up? It's the Culture Detective here, investigating your favorite albums. It hurts, okay? Call me a coward, but it hurts. And today I'm gonna be doing an album review on Miley Cyrus with Miley Cyrus and her dead pets. Look at this fucking album cover. So Miley Cyrus is the daughter of the legendary country musician Billy Ray Cyrus, who very early on in her life portrayed as the main character in the very popular kids TV show from the Disney Channel as Hannah Montana. But when she grew up, when Hannah Montana was over, she decided to change her image up and make herself look way more edgier, way more vulgar, and way more angstier, so that she could be this sexy, cool, edgy teen who smokes pot, who curses a lot, who does drugs and party and has a lot of sex and yada yada. And yeah, it's a cringe fest. It's a cringe fest, okay? She's not the only person in the world who does drugs. Like, what's so special about doing drugs? What's so special about smoking pot? Like, everyone in the world does that, right? Except for, like, Asians. They don't really do that. So, so yeah, Miley Cyrus was also very, very known for her very vulgar and overly sexual live performances that had stirred a lot of controversy. And that is the exact same reason why the VMAs decided to ask her out to be the host of the freaking VMAs. And it just sucks. And then on the day she hosted the VMAs, she decided to also drop this surprise random album, and it's basically this 90-minute long psychedelic dream pop album, and it features the production from Flaming Lips and Mike Will Made It, and it also features Ariel Pink. What are you doing here, Ariel Pink? And also Big Sean. So yes, right from the get-go, it's already pretty clear that this album is gonna be a total mess. And I kid you not, this album is one of the worst albums I've heard in my life, and one of the worst albums of the decade. I really did hit a jackpot here, because this album just sucks. As of this moment, I can only name 2 albums that are worse than this in the 2010s. So yes, this album is some seriously problematic garbage. So yeah, so since it is a random surprise release, it's a really feel-free album. It's a really off-the-cuffs, off-the-rails, sort of out of the radar, sort of detour album. So they are risking a lot. They're experimenting a lot on this album. They're trying out new, different things. And yeah, and it didn't work out. Not at all. This album manages to be both extremely vulgar and disgusting, and also at the same time very boring. You know, given that the album is 90 minutes long, it's actually quite impressive that the entirety of the album is boring, especially when you consider the fact that it is a pop album from a mainstream pop artist, Miley Cyrus. Yeah, her vocals just suck. It's like this karaoke vocals that's sort of raspy, sort of airy. And it's not that I hate raspy vocals, is that her vocals are so amateurish, her performance is so lame, that her raspy vocals just make it worse, just makes it way more obnoxious. And this album completely lacks personality, despite having this really weird character, despite having this weird, dreamy psychedelic production. It still lacks personality, and it's absolutely bland, absolutely monotone. And the songs here, they are all terrible. They are all terrible, except for the second song, I guess. And that's actually kind of funny because every single song on this album, except for the second song, is bad in their own unique way. So I really had a lot of fun writing the script because this album sucks. So without further ado, let's start off with the first track titled "Do It!" and it features the Flaming Lips. So yeah, let's talk about the instrumentals first. They are really rough, really abrasive and choppy, and they are really angsty and energetic. And while they're not the worst instrumentals ever, they're still pretty annoying, and they get redundant very, very soon. And then we have Miley Cyrus just popping into the song, screaming, "Yeah, smoke pot, I love peace, I don't give a fuck, I ain't no hippie." And it's just absolutely horrendous, absolutely horrid. The vocals are kind of choppy, and they're really obnoxious. And then we also get this very out of place trap beat underneath the thing. And even though the song is not like the worst song ever, it is really close, because at the end they somehow wrap the song up with Miley Cyrus popping up out of nowhere asking, "Why they put the dick in the pussy? Why they put the dick in the pussy? Why they put the dick in the pussy?" And then we have the second song, "Karen, Don't Be Sad," and it's the only good song on the album. It's a pretty nice, gorgeous little piece of a spacey, enchanting ballad. It has some nice, dreamy, psychedelic guitars. Even though I'm not a huge fan of the vocals, they are still very bad. They are still karaoke sounding. But I kind of like how intimate and raw and sort of simplistic the track is, even though it still has this nice lavishing instrumental behind it, and it's not boring. But everything else about the album just sucks. At least it can be worse. So we have the track, the Floyd song, parenthesis, "Sunrise," and it's a mellow, spacey guitar song. It has some reverby vocals that actually remind me a lot of Ciros for some reason. And even though at the end of the track the vocal harmonies are actually almost pretty good, but the whole thing is just bogged down by the fact that it's so freaking boring. It's so uneventful. Literally nothing happens in the song other than Miley Cyrus's really poor amateur vocals just there. And the problem is even worse on the next track, "Something About Space, Dude." The singing is actually garbage, and usually if you're singing, if your vocals aren't really that great, at least you can wrap it up and package it with some glitzy, glossy production and nice beat and some nice, sharp instrumentals. This song completely devoid of that. This song is incredibly raw, incredibly minimalistic, and also incredibly boring. Plus, you have Miley Cyrus's really raspy and amateur vocals, and it just sounds absolutely garbage. And the instrumentals, they are some super clean, sterile guitar licks that are actually pretty repetitive, and the lyrics are absolutely dumb and gross as well. And it's just so gross when you realize that, it has this really dreamy, moody instrumental, but the lyrics completely don't fit into the instrumentals at all. Yeah, Miley's vocals just give me migraines. Up next, we have the track "Space Boots," and it has this minimalistic beat. It has some very mellow instrumentals, and it's already a very, very bad Beach House ripoff. And then we also get all these random pitch vocal snippet popping up out of nowhere here and there, left and right, for no reason whatsoever, not like it adds onto the instrumental flavor of the track at all. And then the track devoids of any catchiness. It devoids of anything colorful or bright. It devoids of any flavor or texture. it's just so mind-numbingly boring. And then we have an interlude called "Fucking Fucked Up." Look, Miley, I know you curse. We curse too. It's a normal thing. Everybody does that. Okay? Yeah, okay? You know, the last time I thought cursing was edgy was when I was at 5th grade in elementary school. So yeah. And this interlude is here for no reason. It's completely pointless. It's like 40 seconds long or something, and it's basically these random, rough, harsh keyboard hits. And we have Miley Cyrus saying "fucked up." Whoa, this is so fucked up, and her vocals started to get distorted and compressed, and that's basically the interlude. What? What? Anyway, the next track, BB Talk, is actually even worse. Instrumentally, it's this very lazy piece of trash pop music with this stupidly optimistic and hopeful strings in the back for no good reason. And this song isn't really like a song either. It's basically this spoken word track where Miley Cyrus sort of has this stoner babble thing where she just churns out some of the dumbest, shallowest, and most pointless things ever because she's stoned and she's drunk and she's high and she would say anything, and it's being recorded, and it's now ended up on this song, and it's now on the album for no good reason. It's titled BB Talk, and Miley Cyrus on the track was like, and there's all this fucking bullshit like goo goo gaga BB Talk. Absolutely horrendous, absolutely horrid, absolutely atrocious, very gross, very annoying, very obnoxious, and at some points hilariously bad. And then up next we have the track Fweaky. Yeah, that's actually the title of the track, and it's this atmospheric ballad, and Miley Cyrus does her very, very best to impersonate Lana Del Rey and completely fails. Completely, okay? And the lyrics are absolutely gross given how moody and dreamy the instrumentals are. The lyrics are basically about, I just smoked this bowl of pot and now you need to go to my bedroom and we'll do this and we'll do that. You can picture me doing this and I'll be doing that. And the next track, Bang Me Box, has a similar lyrical topic talking about sex, because it's such an edgy thing. Like, nobody has sex in this world. It's so crazy. Like, what? Sex? It's so dangerous. Like, nobody does that, right? Despite the very sound-rich guitars on this track manages to be extremely disgusting, to be extremely gross. And not like I'm against disgusting and gross music. I mean, a lot of the heavy metal and death metal tracks are pretty heavy, are pretty gross, but this is just not in the right way. Gross in the dumbest and shallowest way possible, and hilariously bad way possible, and it's a song about sex, yet Miley Cyrus's vocals are just so unsexy and uncharismatic. It's actually painful to listen to her vocals. And then we have Milky Milky Milk. I'm not kidding. It's the title of the song. It's titled Milky Milky Milk, and numerous occasions on the track, Miley Cyrus goes, the Milky Milky Milk. What? And to make things worse, this song has this dumb, squawky beat that's just absolutely obnoxious. And then we have a slab of butter, Scorpion. And it literally starts off with Miley Cyrus saying, I'm about to get fucked up. And it's all chopped up and looped. And it's just, I mean, it sounds like something a high schooler would make when he or she was bored. And yeah, also, again, we get some harsh keyboards and guitars and beats. They don't go well together. They're so not smooth. They're so rough around the edges, especially if you consider the fact that it is supposed to be a dream pop album, but yet it sounds so rough, like and messy and chopped up. And Miley Cyrus's vocals are pitched higher than normal, so it gets obnoxious instantly. Plus, the chorus is basically this spacey country garage rock fusion, and it's just so corny sounding. And then we get another pointless interlude titled "I'm So Drunk." Yeah, we get it, Miley. It's pretty obvious. And, the interlude is essentially a bunch of random noise, a bunch of random pitch vocal snippets, and some random keyboard hits. That's it. And then we have I Forgive You. The title of the song is I Forgive You. And it's, oh gosh, kill me. This song, it's just so unlikable. Miley Cyrus basically portrays this very rich girl who, does yoga all the time, who has a very high income, but at the same time is also one of those, millennials who would, play around with Snapchat and drink Starbucks and be like, whatever, man, whatever, lol, 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 OMG, and it's just absolutely horrendous. I'm impressed at how unlikable and dislikable this track is, and the vocals are sort of like compressed a little bit in order to make it sound even worse. And it sounds like the song is trying to reach a climax all the time, but every time it's about to hit the climax, it just falters down again. So it's just a very frustrating listen. And then we have the track I Get So Scared, and it's basically this guitar song that's just really monotone. Even though the instrumentals aren't terrible, it's still very boring. And the track Lighter is also super duper boring. The vocals are absolutely atrocious. They sound like karaoke. And the song tries to be this mellow 80s throwback song, but it's just, again, completely devoid of any catchiness or flavor or texture. And, Miley's vocals are just getting chopped up very intensively. It's just too much. And the track Tangerine features Big Sean, and it is the least hip-hoppiest track on the entire album. And they still somehow managed to put Big Sean on the track, and he completely phones it in. And this track is basically this super moody, slow, just atmospheric song, and the lyrics are absolutely dumb. The sun is a giant spaceship tangerine, and it shoots orange morphine. I mean, I think it's already pretty obvious that Miley Cyrus was stoned when she wrote this song, and was also probably stoned when she decided to put this song on the track list, and also when she decided to actually come out with this album. Miley was just stoned the whole time. And we have Tiger Dreams, and it features Ariel Pink. What? Excuse me? What? Ariel Pink is a legitimately good artist. What is he doing here? Apparently he's not doing anything. He's just doing this very faint, very quiet duet with Miley Cyrus, and after listening to the song, I didn't know where was Ariel Pink. I had to re-listen to the song and try my very best to find Ariel Pink's vocals, because it's just so buried underneath. And all the instrumentals, they sort of fade in and out constantly, and it's just and the instrumentals are already boring, plus there aren't really that much vocals on the track. So the track is basically 60% Miley Cyrus, and it's just a bore fest. And then we have Evil Is But a Shadow. What does it even mean? I don't know, but I know that this track is absolutely dumb. The vocals are really bad, and Miley Cyrus really tries her very best to make this sad, edgy song. Now the world is so dark and hopeless. And it just completely falls flat to its face, and it's hilarious. The production is slappy, and the climax took place for 1 second. And then we have Cyrus Skies, which is even more of a boring track. The instrumentals are super quiet and super faint on the track. But still, Miley Cyrus decided to sing very intensely towards the last leg of the track, and it just... migraines. The migraines it's giving me. It's actually quite insane. And this song is 6 minutes long, and it's super stripped back, and On the next track, One Sun, Miley Cyrus does her very best Lady Gaga impression, and it's easily the worst Lady Gaga impression in the history of musical impressions, because it's just so dry, so drab, and the vocals are so monotone and robotic. This song is basically this whack, dry, random, raw banger out of nowhere, out of a sea of dreamy, boring tracks, and it just feels so out of place. It feels like it doesn't belong to this album, and yet it still sucks very much. And then immediately after, we get an even moodier and even more boring song where, for the entirety of the song, Miley Cyrus was basically doing this. Yeah, it's titled Miley Tibetan Bowlzzz, and it's like yeah, Miley Cyrus had definitely came in contact with a bowl, not a Tibetan bowl though. There's this ambient drone background to the track, and it just makes the track even more obnoxious and unlistenable, and the singing is just so torturous. It's kind of crazy actually. And then we have the song Pablo, the Blowfish, and it's basically the stripped back piano ballad, and it's a vegan song, so that's like a thing, but everything else about the song just really sucks, especially the lyrics. Yeah, I know the pianos are just super basic on this track, and the vocals, they are bad as always, but the lyrics just take the crown on this track as the worst thing about the track, because this track is essentially about Pablo the Blowfish sleeping with a seahorse named Sadie. Yeah, I'm done. And just when you thought the album's ending, there's one more song, and it's titled Twinkle Song, and it's another stripped back piano ballad where there's nothing else but some really basic pianos and Miley Cyrus's garbage vocals, and this song just ends off the album perfectly. It just ends off the album very conclusively. And it's essentially a song about dreams where, Miley Cyrus kind of talks about her own dreams, but it's just very, very, very funny. I couldn't help but laugh my ass off while listening to the song because it's just hilarious. She speaks of this very dumb and shallow dreams and tries to find the meaning of it very, very hard. And Miley Cyrus was really screaming her brains off on this track, shouting, "What does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean?" Yeah. So, why'd they put the dick in the pussy? Why'd they put the dick in the pussy? The milky, milky, milky milk. I want to get fucked up. What does it mean? What does it mean? Yeah. This album sucks. Favorite song is Karen, Don't Be Sad, and my least favorite song is, What Does It Mean? And I'm feeling a 1 out of 10 for the album. I mean, I respect Miley Cyrus as a person, okay, but nope. So, have you listened to this album from 1 to 10? How much did you rate it? Like if you like it, hate if you hate it, and subscribe if you want more. Thanks for watching. Paper cut.